Hey, good evening, guys. It's KB5MIQ, Big Boy here. We're going to talk about a subject tonight I've kind of talked on before, but I'm seeing people ask questions, and I'm seeing some really variations in prices, so we're going to talk about it again here a little bit. But first, I want to give a shout out to W5MAS Mark. He was the caretaker of a tower given to him by a Silent Key family, Whiskey Bravo 5 CZS, Vernon Ainsworth. And they wanted this tower to go to a new ham, preferably in a club. So I got in contact with Greg Waits, KF5NHZ, and he accepted the tower in honor of Mr. Ainsworth, one of our fellow hams, is now Silent Key. Picture will be on here at the end of this video, and Mr. Ainsworth's family, I hope you're proud of the decision we got here with this, and W5MAS Mark, thanks for setting this up. I know Greg really appreciated it. Okay, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about used gear prices and how to get the best bang for your buck setting up an HF station. And I know it's expensive, and y'all know me, this channel's about new hams and hams on a budget. And like I've said before, me and my buddy HKV Jeff, we're kind of cheap ham Valhalla when it comes to spending money on this subject. Come here, ham radio cat, get up here where everybody can see you. Come on, get up here. Maybe she'll jump up here. She still ain't got used to the way this chair sits in this shack. Guys, you know, you look at radio prices, and I don't understand a lot of these, how some of these rigs are holding value the way they do. I'm going to give you my 897 as an example, and then I'm going to give you an example of some really good deals. One of our buddies in the Hammerheads group got. And before I get into this, I'm not telling people how to spend your money. I'm not telling you how to find the proper radio. If I want you to find a good radio, and I want you to be able to get on HF and enjoy it. And I still say, if you're not familiar with how to purchase a used radio so you don't get hurt, and you don't have an Elmer to help you, always check MTC out, because Richard's got a lot of used gear on there, and he'll tell you right off the bat if it's got a 30-day warranty on it or not. And you won't get a 30-day warranty on anything you buy tailgate sale or ham fest. So that's always a good place to start. But what I'm talking about now is how some of these radios don't seem to depreciate. In fact, some of them kind of seem to appreciate. I don't understand that. Let's take my 897D, for instance. That's basically 20-year-old technology. I bought mine in 07. Bought it brand new, and I've been looking for the receipt, and I'm 99% sure I paid $7.99 plus shipping for it. I'm almost certain that price is right, because I remember looking at it, and I kind of had it narrowed down between that and an Icom 718. And I went with the 897D because it's a shack in the box. And they're good radios. And I'm not really ready to replace mine yet. In 07, $799, say $800. I've seen these on eBay and other used gear sites as high as $1,000. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm an old gun trader. If I had that sitting on my table at a ham fest and you come up and offer me $1,000, you'd go home with it right then. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. But would I put it up initially for sale for $1,000? I don't much think I would, because I don't think it's worth that used, especially 20-year-old technology. Mine has had the typical things that go wrong with an 897. the filters went out on the single sideband side. I sent it back to Yaesu back in 2017 and got that fixed. Now the LED readout's starting to get some of the zebra lines in it, and I'm actually considering getting rid of it this year or in 2025. And if I do, I got the box and everything. I'll box it up and go down and see if I can make a deal with Richard. I hadn't decided to do that yet because I'm cheap and the radio's still, hey, Kent, get up here. Anyway, but I see 7300s, older, 10 to 15-year-old radios bringing a bunch of money. Now, if you got $1,000 to $1,500 to spend, here's my thinking. If you got that much cash to spend offhand, go ahead and buy something new. You can still find 718s out there. 891s, they're under $800. Last time I checked, MTC's out of them. He had some of the 710s in stock, but he was out of the 891s. 718s are still available around $700. Somebody will tell you, oh, you got to buy this radio here because it's got more features. Now, here's my take, and I'm going to use car buying as an example. So I don't want you to get hurt or bit or get caught up in having to have all the bells and whistles. They're great. I'm not going to say they're not great, but they're great to have, but I don't want you to sacrifice shack money unnecessarily. I got divorced in 2003, and I'd been married almost 18 years. It'd always been my policy to keep my wife in a good vehicle, and I always drove a junker. Well, when I got divorced, guess who got the good vehicle? Guess who got the junker? I ended up, as soon as I got on my feet, a couple, 3 months after divorce, I had to buy a pickup. I wanted a Silverado, single cab, short wide bed. Knew I couldn't afford a new one, and I was looking at used ones. At that time, they were a lot cheaper than they are now, I promise you. And I could pick up a used Silverado in the 2,000 year range for about $13,000, and it'd have 30 to 50,000 miles on it. Well, let one slip away. I drove another one, and something about it, the more I drove it, the more I thought, you know what? Yeah, I can get this truck for $13,000, but we'll have to put a set of tires on it within a year. Possibly have to put a battery on it within a year. I can buy a brand new Dodge stripped down model truck for $12,800. And then I won't have any more. I'll have a warranty. I won't have to buy tires, battery, or nothing for at least 3 to 4 years. So that's what I did. I bought a truck with a little less features on it. In fact, I still own the truck to this day. It's 276,000 miles later. I don't drive that every day. It's been a hunting truck for several years now. But I'm using that as an example. We get caught up in this hobby and having to have all the bells and whistles, and you'll listen to these hams, oh, you're not a real ham if you don't have this, and do not fall for the starter radio term at all, because it is, to me, one of the most derogatory terms you could tell a new guy that may have just went out and chunked down $700 for a new 891. Oh, well, if you want to be a real ham, you got to have this. That's a good starter radio. Don't fall for that. They're just radios with less features on them. They're still 100-watt HF radios. And you need to remember that. You buy any other than these QRP rigs, unless you buy the really expensive Kenwood and Yaesus, they're all 100-watt HF radios. This depends on how many filtering and other bells and whistles that come with them. So you can still have a lot of fun with a less featured radio. Now, KD5 KWT Carl, he just come up with one of the best deals I've seen in a long time, and you'll see pictures of it at the end of this video. There's some two collages I put together here. He bought a TS820S Kenwood, an FT101E, I believe, Yaesu, accessories, manuals, and it's all in the pictures there. $450 for all of it. And the 820S works great. Sounds good. He's used it in our roundtable group before. Great radio. Old radio, but it's in mint condition and it works fine. Again, it's a tube radio. The learning curve will be a little better for a newer ham if you're not used to that. But there's used rigs out there in the $150 to $500 range that are going to be 30 to 40-year-old radios that still work great. This 701 that I bought 3 years ago at Mina, I've got $200 tied up in it because I had to give $50 for a matching mic. It's still a hair-off frequency. Kent done alignment on it. He said it needs a couple of little minor parts. I hadn't ordered them yet, but it's working fine. And I just zero-beat a station with it and used it. He got it a lot closer than it was. All I'm trying to say is spend your money wisely. Do some research on what you're wanting to do. I don't recommend the QRP radios at all, because a couple of them are just as expensive or more expensive than buying a 100-watt rig. And if you buy a 100-watt rig and you want to work QRP, all you got to do is turn the power down. It'll be a less draw on your battery, and you still got a 100-watt rig to put in your shack. Guys, that's all. I see people asking this question and posting about it. Why do radios not depreciate like a lot of people think they should? And I really don't understand that. There's some features that everybody's different when it comes to radio. Here's another good example. Receivers. I see a lot of people post about how good this receiver is versus this one. Now, we'll give you a perfect example of that. When Jeff and I, we've got this group going. Several years ago, I was running that Hill mic on this 897. Cody, being a younger of the group, said, "Hey, big boy, that radio, that microphone sounds muddy. It's not real clear." Jeff said, "It sounds good to me." Well, Jeff and I are both in our 60s, both deaf. We couldn't hear the difference in it. Tim, KI5TKY, is in his early 60s, but he's a musician. He could tell the difference in it. Now, getting back to the difference in receivers, a lot of that depends on the ear. Tim has a 991. He bought brand new. And every time I've used it, like I said before, made me want to sell a cow to buy me one. Hadn't done it yet. But his went down on him the other day. He had a little accident with it. So Kent's got it to work on it. And Kent loaned him an ICOM 7200 to keep on the air with him, so he'll still be on HF. Tim said that's the best sounding radio he's ever had in his life. It sounds 2 to 1 better than that Yaesu. Now, if you put them on my bench side by side, I don't know that I could tell you the difference in them. Depends on what somebody's ear is. My Yaesus sound fine. I know this is kind of a rambling video, but you new guys starting out, try to find your Elmer to help you find your first radio. If you don't have an Elmer, contact Richard at MTC for a used radio or a new radio. And if, say, you got $1,000 to $1,500 to spend, before you buy a 5 to 20-year-old older radio that you're going to sink $700 to $1,000 in, $700 to $1,000 in, look at buying a new rig. And you'll have warranty, you'll have a brand new radio, and you'll still have some money left to buy antennas, build antennas, coax, however you want to get it in the air. That's all I'm trying to make a point here, because I see a lot of guys, a lot of the advice they get I don't agree with, and they'll say, well, you need to buy this. They're telling you what to buy. I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. I just want you to get the best bang for your buck that you can get. That's all I'm trying to get a point across with this video. Do a lot of research. eham.net, it's got a lot of reviews, I guess, of every radio ever made. You can read what other hams has posted about the radios. And if you go back far enough, you can find some reviews I've left. Call Richard MTC if you got a specific question about a used or a new radio. But I want you on the air. I want you to enjoy the hobby and stay with it. Guys, I got another video looking at on New Year's Day, Wednesday night. I'm going to do one. I got a mailbag question. Essential tools for a ham shack. We're going to go over again what I use in my shack here. Guys, Richard had a ton of sales going on at the end of the year here. Be sure and get on their mailing list. Watch for him on Facebook for his videos, and we've gonna have, he's always got something going on up there. Got a ton of used gear on the site. Guys, I've got the video of the picture of the tower with Greg, a picture of Carl's gear he bought, and also be some Hamfest coming up. Right now, I'm planning on trying to make the Cowtown Hamfest. Guys, hope everybody has a happy new year, and we'll hit you with another video Wednesday night. This is KB5 MIQ Big Boy 73.